Hello people, so as you may be aware, there's no One Piece chapter this week, so I'm going to give you my thoughts of what happened in the One Piece chapter 10784, in addition to what may happen next, as well as the reaction, the response of the results of the 6th popularity poll in One Piece. A lot of people are mixed about how Japan voted for the characters, but I think the emphasis is on popularity poll, so I'll give you my thoughts later on. So, as we know, there's been a huge change in where the direction of the story goes from here, because obviously now the categories on the Sunny guarantees we're going to get a conflict at some point. Another group, maybe Sanji and Pudding, are going to team up to actually make the cake faster so they can give it to Big Mom so they can calm her down. And there's going to be an alliance. That's the other camp. Personally, I don't want to see that because I don't think it's great for Sanji's character. We want to see him get that win. There's two main camps that think this. That obviously the more likable is, and plus we don't know if Pudding's telling the truth or not. That's the first thing that comes to mind. She may be, but we don't know. She's had a habit of betraying people, so why would this be any different? So we need to take that into consideration. Another thing, even if that she does want to help, makes no sense because by the time Big Mom's done with them, because there's no way they're going to defeat Big Mom on their own, then they're not going to be spared, are they? You think Big Mom's going to turn away and she finds out that Perospero was lying, but I don't think that's going to happen because it's too late in the story for that. Plus, they're already on the Sunny, so most of them are already on the Sunny, so they're already taking precaution in case something happens. Katakuri said the reason why he's going to such great lengths to take out Luffy so he doesn't become a threat later on to Big Mom. By Oda, when it comes to like Katakuri and his Devil Fruit abilities, which were previously to be thought of Logia, turns out no, it's a Paramecia, kind of like Luffy, which makes sense. And to me, that spells out regardless. I'm curious as why Oda would reveal this now. If he's on the Sunny, he's going to be able to be taken out. But I think Katakuri is going to survive this arc just because of how popular he's been at such a short time. It makes sense. I don't know what's going to happen to Smoothie. I'm wondering if the popularity poll has some type of effect on what happens with certain characters in the story of One Piece popularity. Like I said, I expect most, if not all, the Vince Smokes to like survive and be reintroduced later on down the road. It just makes sense, and we may even get this. We may even get the Vince Smokes helping out the Straw Hats with the Sunny and then saying farewell to Sanji. So that could be some closure too, but we don't know. I think for sure we'll see Reiju again. The fact that she's in the top 15 in the popularity poll, no doubt about it. So we will see these characters again. Oda has a tendency to introduce these characters early on, have them reappear again later in the story. We're going to see it with the Grand Fleet, no doubt about it. So, which is why we're getting the cover stories. So, and another thing I want to point out, speaking of the Grand Fleet, okay. So I'm going to give you my thoughts on the popularity poll. I got a number of places in that poll that a lot of people don't agree with. Unless you're from Japan, then they're the ones that actually vote for a majority of these characters. So, okay, the top three, very predictable. Luffy, Zoro, Sanji. No complaints there. Okay, with number 4, Law, understandable because he's not. In October, we're going to Wano, so I think that's why Zoro's there, personally. And we have Ace in the top 5 too, which I mean he's ahead of Sabo, and Sabo's at number 9. You have Jinbei at number 6, Chopper at number 7, and then Nami at number 8. Robin's not in the top 10 either, so I thought she would be, but no, again me. And Bo Hancock at number 10, so that's crazy. But again, it's not about to play the results. I think you got to take into consideration. A lot of people are with the conception of because they're viable in the story right now, that's what counts as popularity. No. Even though I don't agree with some of these results, it doesn't mean people aren't allowed to vote for who they want. It's a popularity poll. That's the emphasis of it. Whether it makes sense or not, that's for you to decide. But Japan's more near and dear to their hearts with One Piece than anything else. I mean, we love it for what it is, whether it's in the States, in the UK, all over the world. But you have to remember there are fans in Japan that worship this, maybe even more so than us. So And when it comes to the characters, even more so. So Luffy, that makes sense. With Boa Hancock, a lot of people love Boa Hancock as one of the best females in the show, and a lot of people confuse. I saw Roger's Base making a video about this, about how he's puzzled how Reiju is behind Boa Hancock. Well, I think you need to take into consideration. This is my perspective on this. I think you need to take into consideration Boa Hancock has been in the story longer than Reiju has. As much as Reiju's done for the Straw Hats, she saved Luffy's life. She ended up helping out Sanji in more ways than one. With the best character out of the whole cake and by far. So with probably exception of Katakuri, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, but even if that's the case, you have to remember, to certain fans in Japan, they've known Boa Hancock a lot longer. So, and there is that instance. Another is I don't agree with Brook not being in the top 10. I think he should have been because of his performance in what he's done in the Whole Cake Island arc as a whole. I mean, he got the ribbons of the poneglyph. He destroyed the picture of Mother Karma, which sent Big Mom over the deep end. So, I mean, Brook has done a lot. So,
the other big thing to come out of this popularity poll, I think, is Oda's way of kind of like confirming the fact that Jinbei is going to be a member of the Straw Hats after the Whole Cake Island arc. Whether he survives or not is confirmed because he was left out the color spread. Not all the Straw Hats, with the exception of Luffy, were left out. The Cavendish, we had Reiju, Doflamingo, Boa Hancock, of course, and obviously the fact that Jinbei was left out may be Oda's way of confirming that Jinbei is a member of the Straw Hats. I mean, we kind of knew this already, and just the fact that Jinbei. Now, I don't know. I don't think that's that's why he's number 6. Personally, like I said, it's a popularity poll, and a lot of people love Jinbei anyway. So that may have a lot. I get why people are upset that Brook isn't not in the at least in the top 10. It's like not even the top 20. It's like, and I think a lot of people do love Brook, but it's not showcasing here. And I believe Katakuri's 49. So you got some weird positionings, but again, it is about popularity. It's why Zoro's at number 2, Sanji's at number 3, and so forth. Ace is at number 4, number 5, because I mean people love Ace regardless. So that makes a lot of sense, even though he has not been in the story since Marineford. So, but we do have a novel with Ace, so that could contribute something to it. Sabo's at number 9 because I think a lot of people like Sabo anyway, despite we haven't seen him since Baltigo. So maybe we'll again, but people love Sabo anyway. So there is something to the popularity of why these certain characters are in certain positions the way they are. You have Shanks at number 12, which even though he hasn't been in the story that long, he is going to reappear at some point. But the fact that he's at number 12 goes to show you how much of a popular character he is. Obviously, because he's a badass, but obviously he's the main influence for Luffy, so people could identify with that. So, does it make sense? Probably not, but that's not what the popularity polls are there for, to be honest with you. Again, it's puzzling why Chopper's ahead of Nami. I think overall people would prefer Nami over Chopper, but again, popularity prove otherwise. So we may not agree with some of these results in the popularity poll. I think you have to remember the kind of influence that anime, not just One Piece, but anime, the influence it has on Japan culture as a whole. I mean, the roles reversed because Oda is focusing Wano specifically on Japan's culture. So it goes both ways. The fact is, Japan dedicate One Piece way more than the UK does, way more than the US does, because they have museums, they have monuments, they have theme parks, name it, statues dedicated to One Piece. You literally have, not to deviate from One Piece, but you literally have Japan celebrating National Goku Day. You literally have an entire day dedicated to Goku. So that goes to show you how much of an influence these characters have on the people of Japan, not just us. So I think that's why some of these popularity polls the way they are. Does it make sense? Probably not, but it's not for us. It's not just for us to decide that. So I think a lot of people need to remember that. I'm pretty sure because 2020 you have the Olympics in Japan, they're gonna find a way to promote anime. You can bet on it.
So I guess people like the characters like, despite what role they have in the story. I think it's obvious now. We know we're heading for Wano in October. The Whole Cake Island arc is approaching the final stages. I keep saying that over and over again, but I think it should be over with. And it means that the Reverie is not going to be very long, so I would not expect a conflict. We will get some important stuff, which will set up the later parts of the story, but I wouldn't expect anybody to show up like the Revolutionaries. Not now. There's not enough time for that. So, or it could set up a conflict with the Revolutionaries, because we know we're getting an arc with the Revolutionary after. I'm assuming after Wano, so maybe we'll get that after Wano, but maybe that's going to be the setup for it. So we'll see how things play itself out. Just wanted to get my thoughts on that. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments down below. Who do you vote for in the popularity poll, and do you agree with the results? Remember, it is about popularity at the most part. So I'm going to be completely honest. I actually voted for Sanji. So that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you did. Appreciate that. Comment down below about what you think is going to happen next in the upcoming chapter. Remember, there is no chapter this week. So subscribe to for more One Piece. Catch you guys later. Bye.